Senate, today the 27th of May. Report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the county government's county allocations cash disbursement schedule for the financial year 2024-2023.
And now the chairperson, Standing Committee on Finance and Budget, you may proceed to give notice on the same.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The report of the Standing Committee of Finance and Budget on the county government's additional allocation cash disbursement schedule for financial year 2024-2023. Mr. Speaker, I beg to give notice 2024-2025. Thank you. I'm happy when I notice that my Senator Nairobi is always very keen. I beg to give notice of the following motion, that the Senate adopts the report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the county government's additional allocation cash disbursement schedule for the financial year 2024-2025, laid on the table of the Senate today, the 27th of May 2025, and that pursuant to Section 17(7) of the Public Finance Management Act, the Senate approves the county government's additional allocation cash disbursement schedule for financial year 2024-2025.
Next order, Clerk.
Order number 8, motion. Suspension of the morning sitting of the Senate on Wednesday, 28th of May, 2025.
The Senate Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move the following motion, that notwithstanding the resolutions of the Senate made on the 19th of February 2025, pursuant to Standing Order number 32 on the approval of the Senate calendar regular sessions for the 4th session 2025, and further notwithstanding the provisions of Standing Order number 34, the Senate resolves to suspend its morning sitting on Wednesday, the 28th of May 2025. Mr. Speaker, this is a fairly straightforward matter. We have the breakfast, national prayer breakfast that's organized by Parliament this yearly occasion tomorrow morning, and therefore this is to pave way for that event tomorrow morning. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I want to request the House to agree that we reschedule our events for tomorrow morning to another date until we sit again at 2:30 in the afternoon. Mr. Speaker, I want to request the Senate Minority Whip, Senator Ledama Olekina, to second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if the majority leader had not yet pointed at me, maybe I would have had a different opinion. But I do rise to second. I think it is imperative that everything we do, we seek guidance from the High Almighty. And given that we are going through difficult times, and difficult times require special prayers to be able to allow us to be able to navigate these challenges of either adoption, or what are they called? Abductions or not abduction, whatever they are. We just kneel to God and seek protection. So, Mr. Speaker, I beg to second.
Honourable Senators, I'll now proceed to propose the question. The notwithstanding the resolution of the Senate made on the 19th of February 2025, pursuant to Standing Order 32, on approval of the Senate calendar regular sessions for the 4th session 2025, and further, notwithstanding the provisions of Standing Order 34.1 of the Senate resolves to suspend its morning sitting on Wednesday, 20th May 2025. Now, Honourable Senators, the floor is open for debate, but this being a procedural motion, with your concurrence, I may proceed to put the question so that we vote. Very well. So, honorable senators, I'll proceed to put the question that notwithstanding the resolution of the Senate made on the 19th January 2025, pursuant to Standing Order 32 on the approval of the Senate calendar regular sessions for the fourth session 2025, and further notwithstanding the provisions of Standing Order 34.1, the Senate resolves to suspend its morning sitting on Wednesday, 28th of May 2025. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order, clerk. You may proceed, Senator Fuka-Kamega.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, to suspend the sitting of the Senate is an extraordinary issue. And Mr. Speaker, we are doing this to appeal to God. I therefore want your direction, Mr. Speaker. Is it possible that all the luminaries of UDA who will be at the prayer meeting tomorrow will find it possible in their hearts to forgive Gloria, because God is the God of a second chance, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I say this. Wait.
Senator Bonny, kindly take your seat. Please, respectfully. Take your seat. Yeah. Clerk, proceed to call the next order, please.
Order number 9, motion. Order number 9, motion. The report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the county government's additional allocations cash disbursement schedule for the financial year 2024-2025.
Chairperson, Standing Committee on Finance and Budget.
We how many? 1, 2, 3. No, watu wako kwa lounge, I want to believe. Kujeni tutafute watu. Let's go to the lounge and call. Bonnie, please. Tutafute watu. We must pass this. No, we have Mark. We have Mark. Tusaidiane kujeni tupige muziki.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I beg to move that the Senate adopts the report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the County Government Additional Allocation Cash Disbursement Schedule for the financial year 2024-2025, laid on the table of the Senate on Tuesday, 27th of May 2025, and that pursuant to Section 17(7) of the Public Finance Management Act, the Senate approves the County Government Additional Allocation Cash Disbursement Schedule for financial year 2024-2025. Mr. Speaker, we passed the County Government Allocation, County Government Additional Allocation recently after a lot of controversy between ourselves and the National Assembly. And unfortunately, this has really pushed us to the end of the financial year. And we, as the Finance Committee, we've pushed to get the disbursement schedule in order to guide the National Treasury to be able to release the funds approved within the current financial year. And in the report of the committee, we're recommending for approval of the cash disbursement schedule as contained, the county additional allocation as contained. The Treasury has accepted and presented that they will disburse the entire county additional allocation in the month of May and in the month of June in order for them to comply within the current financial year, as we are already in the process of doing the same county additional allocation and other documents for the following financial year that is 2025-2026, including division of revenue and other instruments. Mr. Speaker, sir, we are requesting the Senate to approve the disbursement schedule because this is an issue that does not have much controversy. It's just an instrument meant for facilitation of release of the funds of the bill as approved by this House and concurred by the National Assembly through mediation process. If we get this disbursement schedule for county additional allocation approved in time, then we will have the opportunity to have those funds sent to the counties in time before the closure of the financial year, and for the county governments to be able to factor in the current budget they are proposing, because the county governments will most definitely be unable to absorb within this less than 35 days left of the closure of the financial year. However, because most of these funds are going to go to a special purpose account in the county government, because they are conditional and unconditional grants allocated for specific purposes within the county additional allocation, that it is not going to go into the normal processes. However, appropriation of the same will require to be captured in the budgets of the county governments before the closure of the financial year. And that really necessitates the need for us to approve the disbursement schedule to facilitate the flow of funds to be able to be released to county governments. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move and request the secondment of Senator Sifuna, the cash disbursement schedule. My apologies. It's just a schedule.
Honourable Speaker, I rise to second. But of course, I was expecting that the chair of the Finance Committee would say a few words about the fact that from the first day that we came to this House, we have passed a disbursement schedule every financial year. National Treasury has never complied with any of the disbursement schedules that we have passed. So I don't know, Honourable Speaker, what confidence the chair has that this ritual that we engage in every year has any meaning at all. If you speak to the county governors, Honourable Speaker, they will tell you they have been receiving the disbursement of the shareable revenue for February in May. Honourable Speaker, why do we engage in this ritual? I am hoping that the people who have been here before or longer can explain to us, really, do we need to do this? And the Chair of Finance has rightly noted, if you look at the time that is remaining in the financial year, then you disburse in 2 tranches. And I am sure, I highly suspect that it will not even be done as he has proposed. My view would have been, Honourable Chair, that Treasury must be told to send that money in 1 tranche in this month of May, Honourable Speaker, so that we don't have those stories of capacity to absorb or the time to absorb these resources. Otherwise, for me, as I second, this ritual has never made sense to me because no one listens to us. I thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Honourable Senators will now proceed to propose the question, which is that the Senate adopt the report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the county government's additional allocations cash disbursement schedule for the financial year 2024-2025, laid on the table of the Senate on Tuesday, the 27th of May 2025, and that pursuant to Section 17(7) of the Public Finance Management Act, the Senate approves the county government's additional allocations cash disbursement schedule for the financial year 2024-2025. Now the floor is open for debate. The Honourable Osotsi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think I want to echo the statement by Senator Sifuna that this disbursement schedule that we pass for equitable share and also additional allocation has become a ritual, and that no one takes it seriously, especially at the Treasury. Not in terms of the amounts, but in terms of the time when the money is sent. I think something has to be done about this, because looks like junior officers in Treasury are exercising powers which they don't have and which Senate has. Because when we pass this schedule, this is like law, Mr. Speaker, but this law is never followed by Treasury. So I think this is one issue that we really need to interrogate so that to ensure that when we pass a disbursement schedule, Treasury must look for the money and get that money to the counties. Mr. Speaker, ideally, when we pass the division of revenue in this House, ideally that money should be sent in whole to the counties. But appreciating the fact that government has to have a way of collecting that money, that is why we decided that we send it in bits per month. But even that, they are not able to follow that, Mr. Speaker. So I think we either amend the law to make it mandatory that the schedule must be complied with, or we stop this exercise altogether because it's not making sense, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of additional allocation, it is just this month is ending this week, and then we start June. I wonder, even if this money is sent to the counties, whether they will have time to absorb this money, Mr. Speaker. That's why I support the sentiment that instead of sending this money in two tranches, this money should just be sent in one tranche this month, tomorrow. This money should be sent tomorrow so that at least counties have a month to absorb this money. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, we will be just creating an opportunity for this money to be plundered or this money to be taken back because it has not been spent. Otherwise, I support the motion, but with that additions that maybe the committee should insist that this money should be sent in one tranche at a go. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Mandago.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I support the sending of the money to counties for this conditional allocation. However, Honourable Speaker, I want to agree with Senator Otsosi that I think it is time we amend the law to make it compulsory for National Treasury. Honourable Speaker, we may also want to amend the PFM Act so that we separate the National Treasury from the business of managing finances of the national government, Honourable Speaker, because there's confusion in Treasury that treasuries seem to behave that they are a treasury of national government and county governments have to go there and beg. The Treasury is supposed to serve the two levels of government in an equal measure. Honourable Speaker, it is saddening to note that sometimes salaries for workers in county governments delay, but the salaries in national government agencies and the public service do get their salaries on time because the disbursement schedule is not being followed by Treasury, Honourable Speaker. And therefore, as we support the passage of this schedule, Honourable Speaker, we are concerned that National Treasury have continuously failed to honour the schedule that this House has developed, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, putting service delivery in counties into jeopardy, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, by failing to follow the disbursement schedule, National Treasury is continuously accumulating pending bills in counties and creating a situation where businesses are collapsing. And Honourable Speaker, one of the reasons or the purpose of government is actually to create employment. If we continue creating pending bills, we are destroying businesses that are actually employers of other Kenyans. Not all Kenyans will be employed by the government. Not all Kenyans will work in public service. There are Kenyans who are being employed by Kenyans who are entrepreneurs, who are running business, and therefore, when National Treasury delay or fail to follow that disbursement schedule, they are actually not only creating a problem for county governments, but they are also generally creating a problem in the economy, Honorable Speaker. And I therefore suggest, Honorable Speaker, to my friend and colleague, the Senator for Mandera and the Chair of Finance and Budget, that they, as a committee, they consider bringing amendments to PFM Act so that we can streamline this process and ensure that funds go to county on a timely manner, Honorable Speaker. I support.
Senator Joe Newt.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also rise to support the disbursement, disbursement schedule motion, because, Mr. Speaker, we have had issues with counties, and every time we have an opportunity to meet governors or people who work for county governments in our counties, Mr. Speaker, sometimes they take us to task, and because, Mr. Speaker, we always tell people in our counties that we are the people that pass the division of revenue bill and therefore affording our counties cash resources which they spend, Mr. Speaker. But then sometimes these disbursement of funds take months, Mr. Speaker, and therefore service delivery is affected in a negative way. Mr. Speaker, as we support this motion, it's also important that we emphasize that the Treasury follows strictly the disbursement schedule that we are going to pass, Mr. Speaker, so that our counties can also be able to plan. Honorable Speaker, when you do not know when funds will be availed to you, it is very hard for you to plan. And for counties to offer services, Mr. Speaker, they have to do proper planning in good time. And it's only through following of this particular disbursement schedule that we are going to pass through this motion, Mr. Speaker, that counties can be able to plan and deliver services to our people. We have had very many problems also with the delayed salaries for those that work for the county government, and sometimes counties are forced to borrow money from banks, which of course attracts interest, and to pay county government employees. And when then counties borrow money on interest and they pay interest on the same, then it means that the counties which have very limited resources, they continue wasting funds on interest that would have gone to better use and to offer services to our people, Mr. Speaker. And so the Treasury should and must follow strictly this disbursement schedule and disburse money at the right time as per the schedule, in order for counties to be able to continue offering services in the right way, and so that we can also be able to oversight. Because if we know that counties have received funds in time, then we will be able to ask those very important questions as to why services have not been delivered, or as to why there are delays in delivery of the same. And so, Mr. Speaker, I support this motion that we pass this, that disbursement schedule be approved, so that, Mr. Speaker, we can continue, doing the service that we are supposed to do to our counties. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support.
The Senate Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to support this motion by our Budget and Finance Committee Chairperson. And this what now has been termed as a ritual. I think somebody referred to it as a ritual, which nobody adheres to, and should be of concern to us. Where I'm concerned, though, is what is being prescribed as a solution eventually to this problem. Mr. Speaker, I have listened to colleagues try to figure out what exactly can we do to ensure that the National Treasury complies with this cash disbursement schedule that we pass. It's important to bring to the attention of colleagues that while we do this ritual every year, Mr. Speaker, there is no record that for the last, I don't know how many years, in the existence of devolution, that there has been compliance with the schedule to the exact date and time, Mr. Speaker. In fact, much as people may not agree to it, this is the closest we've ever come to a disbursement schedule, because I know many counties now are either catching up with March or April, Mr. Speaker. We have had instances in the past, Mr. Speaker, where we have gotten to June and counties haven't received their December disbursements. I know, Mr. Speaker, you know this for a fact. You have served as a county governor. And this problem doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon. Therefore, as a Senate of the Republic, we must think creatively and we must find ways that are practical and that will eventually make our counties economically viable. As they are today, Mr. Speaker, this is not possible. Look at what we are passing in this disbursement schedule, Mr. Speaker. We are passing additional resources, 2.9 billion shillings for the KIPES. And Senator Roba, you must convince us that in the next division of revenue, or actually when you do county government, CARA, eventually, Senator, that those counties that are yet to receive the counter-matching funds for KIPES, Mr. Speaker, will be considered. Otherwise, we will suffer the prejudice of having passed resources to other counties to the detriment of other counties, Mr. Speaker. There is 3.24 billion that is being passed to CHPs. How unfair, Mr. Speaker. It's either you have a job or you don't. Surely, if in the month of May is when we are sending resources to pay these people that have been working through the year, are we really being fair to these community health promoters, Mr. Speaker? I wish, Mr. Speaker, we were just plain and honest and told them that you do not have a salary. I know it's a stipend, but even that stipend, Mr. Speaker, it must be timely. 5,000, much as it may look like nothing to many people, if it comes in a timely manner, Mr. Speaker, at least it could help people get by. But if we are sending it at the end of the financial year, Mr. Speaker, there is even an extra 1.8 billion, which is basic salary arrears for health workers, Mr. Speaker, across our counties. I told us as a House last week or 2 months ago that we must reflect and begin to feel embarrassed. That every time you hear there's a demonstration outside the Senate, 9 out of 10 times it will be health workers, Mr. Speaker, for one reason or the other. We must confront this issue of remuneration to health workers, Mr. Speaker, at the county level. It is clear that there was no elaborate plan, Mr. Speaker, and everybody keeps pussyfooting about it. Nobody is clear and certain of when and how their matters will eventually be resolved, Mr. Speaker. That situation cannot continue to obtain. And I hope Senator Mandago, together with members that serve in the Health Committee, including you, Senator Omogeni, that you will lead us home. You must at some point lead this House into making the right decision. You must feel bad on behalf of all Kenyans who watch doctors, nurses, health workers, all these health professionals who come outside the Senate each and every year. Today they were there in the morning. I think they'll be back tomorrow. Maybe they're still there. It's not fair. And you as a committee must lead us as a House into making certain decisions that will resolve that particular answer. And you know, previously, all these other challenges that we've been told that, the reason why they can't be considered jointly is that healthcare is devolved and therefore they are being left to be handled by the individual governors depending on how they're able to manage their politics, Mr. Speaker. That cannot be allowed to obtain for too long. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, is to leave it as a food for thought for Senator Roba, Senator Dabitha, my good friend Boni Halwale, and all these people that serve in the Budget and Finance Committee. I was before their committee this morning on a particular matter, Mr. Speaker, that perhaps it has reached a time where we may want to lead the country into issuing a devolution bond, the same way we issue infrastructure bond. I raised this 2 years ago. It wasn't picked up, but I want to still insist that we may want to consider that, Mr. Speaker, because we know on average how much we consume per year. And we also can project for the last, based on what we have consumed the last 10 years, what the annual increment normally looks like, Mr. Speaker. It will make more sense, Mr. Speaker, because I hear people say, separate the treasury, do this or the other. If the resources are not there, they are not there, Mr. Speaker. We must find ways, just the same way Ministry of Sports and Ministry of Roads have figured out how to fund their roads and find ways through securitization, Mr. Speaker. we can as well issue a devolution bond, Mr. Speaker, through which National Treasury then pays back in the subsequent month on a yearly basis, so that we know for a fact, Mr. Speaker, that this pool of resources is purely dedicated to devolved units. At the particular date, the agreed time of the month, Mr. Speaker, counties receive that which is owed to them, Mr. Speaker. Otherwise, many businesses will continue to crash, Mr. Speaker, on account of supplying to a county government that you know will never pay you. People will go without salaries. Counties will be forced to borrow, Mr. Speaker, to pay and meet even day-to-day subsistence obligations, Mr. Speaker, therefore incurring additional cost. So I want to plead with this Budget and Finance Committee that lead us into a better solution other than this one of having to wait for exchequer releases, that you have to wait for resources, Mr. Speaker, to be collected. When you have a shock in the system like we had last year with the Gen Z protests, Mr. Speaker, and court decisions with regards to finance bill, then counties stayed, I think, up to almost December without receiving any significant funding. That cannot be the way and the basis upon which you run a county government. Something must give, and I believe as a House, it is not beyond us to think what will be a better solution than the current system. At least we are all in agreement that this current system doesn't work in the way that it was envisioned. With those main remarks, Mr. Speaker, I beg to support and hope that, Mr. Speaker, we can be able to conclude on this matter as well as many other business that are before us. At least I'm happy that there are many members that are back in the House now as opposed to earlier in the day. I hope the whips, Mr. Speaker, as we speak, are whipping so that we conclude on this today. I thank you.
Senator Wambua.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, yeah, the majority side is weeping from the comfort of their chairs. Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of the disbursement schedule. I want to make a few comments on it, Mr. Speaker. One, looking at the first schedule, I associate myself fully with the comments by the majority leader. That surely, the Speaker, this is May, actually end of May, the time that we are now trying to approve this schedule for certain cadres of public servants in our counties to begin to receive their pay, and they have already worked for this number of months. Mr. Speaker, something must happen. A decision, Mr. Speaker, has got to be made. And I think this Senate, Mr. Speaker, has a role to play in making that firm decision, led, of course, by our majority leader. Mr. Speaker, this issue of CHPs, it's becoming a national nuisance, really. Mr. Speaker, we cannot live in a country where then must also take to the streets for them to be paid for the services for which they have been hired and contracted. A solution, Mr. Speaker, to the CHPs must be found. We must not sit pretty in the Senate, knowing as it were, Mr. Speaker, that health is a devolved function. I think, Mr. Speaker, I would want to challenge the Senate Committee on Health, led by Senator Madago. Mr. Speaker, I know they have tried to do what they have tried to do, but I want to challenge them to now draw the line in the sand and say enough is enough. We cannot have these demonstrations outside Parliament, in the streets of Nairobi, every day, every week, for people just demanding the same thing, and it is their right to be paid this money, Mr. Speaker. Something really must happen so that we get done with this matter. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of, under the same schedule, the first schedule, on the issue of KIPES. Mr. Speaker, for whatever reason, whatever wisdom was used to phase out the allocation of the national government
share to county governments to construct the industrial parks, there were two phases that I know of. There was phase 1 and then there is phase 2. My county, Kitui, the Speaker, did not make the list for the first phase. But, Mr. Speaker, because of a desire to create jobs and push forward the manufacturing agenda in our county, the county executive of Kitui approached the county assembly of Kitui and they approved the share of the county government of 250 million Kenya shillings for the construction of KIPE at a place called Kanyonyo, the Speaker, in Kitui Rural Constituency. The last time I checked, that construction had been done of KIPE. And they haven't even done 5% of those constructions. This is my appeal to the decision makers and policy makers to KIPE, is that those counties demonstrated a willingness and even committed their funds for the construction of these KIPEs, be fast-tracked and get their share of the government funding to complete their KIPEs. So, Speaker, when you look at the schedule for Kitui, it is blank all through. That the entirety of this financial year will not receive a cent from the government share. And yet we have committed our own resources for the construction of the KIPE at Kanyonyo. And as I said, this is a non-discriminatory expenditure where the county government of Kitui and all other county governments have no discretion. It's a decision that has been taken at the national level that they should be constructed, Mr. Speaker. The least that we can do is to match the amounts of money that counties have spent on these KIPEs to ensure completion and utilization of the facilities. Second, Mr. Speaker, the second schedule is on the issue of court fines. Speaker, I don't know whether this interpretation is right, and Senator Robert will have to help me with this. I don't know whether there's a correlation between the level of crime in a county and the amount of money that is allocated to these counties as part of the share from court fines. And if there is a correlation, Mr. Speaker, then I must thank the people of Kitui profusely, Mr. Speaker. Because for the entire financial year, the only money accruing from court fines is only 100. I'm sure Senator Kakamega is wondering which heaven this is. I mean, this is, if there is a correlation then between crime and amount of money that accrues from court fines, then the people of Kitui County are doing extremely, extremely well. Can't compare them with people from other counties that I want to mention. But, Mr. Speaker, this money being what it is, because it is very, very little money. Mr. Speaker, some of this money, because it's already accrued, it's already realized revenue. I don't see why we should even be staggering this amount of money, Mr. Speaker, through the committee. Money is as little as this will just be disbursed once, so that then it's already realized revenue. It's not money that people will be looking for. It's money that they have contributed to the exchequer. If they can just get this money and do with it as is the right way to deal with it. The Speaker, with those many remarks, I support the schedule. I thank you.
Now, before I allow more comments on this motion, allow me to make this communication. I'd like to acknowledge the presence in the public gallery this afternoon of visiting teachers and students from Tengeche Boys High School in Kericho County. The delegation comprises 3 teachers and 57 students who are in the Senate for a one-day academic exposition. Honorable Senators, in our usual tradition of receiving and welcoming guests to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to them and on behalf of the Senate, on my own behalf, wish them a fruitful visit. Also, I'd like to acknowledge the presence in the Speaker's Gallery this afternoon, a visiting delegation of legal officers from the Parliament of Ghana who are undertaking a benchmarking visit in collaboration with the legal officers in the Directorate of Legal Services in the Senate. Honorable Senators, I request each member of the delegation to stand when called out so that you may be acknowledged in the Senate tradition. Ms. Doreen Asante, Ms. Mary Wendy Yebo, and Mr. Edwin Trufor. Honorable Senators, on behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, I extend a warm welcome to them and wish them a fruitful visit. I'll call upon the Majority Leader to extend a word of welcome to both delegations. You may proceed, Majority Leader.
Good. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I join you on behalf of my colleagues here in the House this afternoon to welcome this visiting delegation from Tengecha High School. This is one of the top-performing schools in our county. I hope, Mr. Speaker, that they will get a full value of the time that they took out of school to come and interact with members here. I have watched them patiently and keenly follow through with the discussions in the House this afternoon. I did not know that they are from my county, but I'm proud of them for the journey that they have traveled in making this institution a great institution. Mr. Speaker, I wish them well as for the remainder of the day and even as I travel back home to Kericho. I will step out briefly to meet with them, Mr. Speaker, and share with them one or two things. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, is to also welcome our visiting delegation from the Parliament of Ghana, Mr. Speaker. Our staff in Parliament, Mr. Speaker, rank up there with the very best you can find globally. I say this, Mr. Speaker, because I have served as a chairperson of the Staff Welfare Committee, and I know the dedication and the competence of our staff. Each year we receive delegations from across the globe, Mr. Speaker, who come to interact, learn, knowledge share, skill transfer from various parliaments around the world. Therefore, I hope that this delegation will not get anything less, but interact and learn and share knowledge together with our staff. I wish them well in the remainder of their time here in Kenya and as I travel back home. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Mungatana, we proceed with the debate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of the motion that is before us. Mr. Speaker, the Constitution of Kenya says in Article 202 that revenue will be raised nationally, but it will be shared between the two levels of government, between the national government and the county government. Mr. Speaker, one of the problems that I have identified since we have been in this Senate is that the National Treasury, Mr. Speaker, seems to be holding brief only for the national government. And it does not, in many ways, consider county government as part and parcel of it. Mr. Speaker, it is time that we consider seriously how we can pass legislation within the Senate in our capacity as the protectors of the counties so that we can create a separate treasury or a division within the treasury that specifically serves the county government. Speaker, the problem with this schedule is that when it comes to exchequer releases, when it comes to disbursements to our counties, the National Treasury tends to lump the responsibility of disbursement to the counties with all the other responsibilities within the nation. And then the responsibility to disburse timeously to the counties, it is relegated to the back so that, Mr. Speaker, they will disburse money favoring the national government and they will disburse money disfavoring the county governments. So, Mr. Speaker, this is a challenge I would want to give to the committee chair of finance at the Senate. Mr. Speaker, time has come for us to sincerely look at how we can use Article 202. There's some law within that will create a department within the Treasury that is dedicated to county governments. So if monies are being raised by the Kenya revenue authorities, they should be equitably divided so that there are two sets of consolidated accounts. One set for the national government and one set for the county government. So that when we say there are delays in exchequer releases, then it will be specific that the Treasury from the county government is not releasing the funds in good time. Mr. Speaker, if this is not done, then like other colleagues have said here in the past, or even in this debate, that it will become a ritual, that we shall pass a schedule, and then this schedule is not respected because the national government operates as if the Treasury only belongs to to servicing the national government and not servicing the county government. So, Mr. Speaker, I think this is one point that we need to look at and see whether going forward we could even have a clear constitutional amendment that creates a Treasury dedicated only to county governments, so that we have the Treasury that will serve county governments and the Treasury that will serve national governments. If this is done and done in a very technical and nice way, then, Mr. Speaker, we will not have even to debate schedules because the funds will be disbursed at the correct time within the time that we pass. Once the Senate has approved, then it is processed from the Treasury that is dedicated to serving the county governments. So, Mr. Speaker, I support and I pray that the Constitution will be followed in this manner. I support. Thank you.
Senator Thangwa Karungo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, to give me an opportunity to support this schedule for the counties, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I've noted, and Senator Wambua has also mentioned, on the issue of disbursement of unconditional additional allocation from court fines. And from the schedule, Mr. Speaker, 116 million is going to only 10 counties. And these are the court fines, to my understanding, is the fines that people from these counties have been fined by courts probably for breaking the county laws within that particular counties. Kiambu is receiving about 10 million from these county fines. Nairobi, which is getting the bigger chunk of the money, is receiving 70 million, 842 shillings, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as much as we would take this as an allocation, I think the Senate should also look into this issue and find out why some of these counties are breaking the law, or why some of these counties are getting these chunks of amounts, while others, like Kakamega, Mr. Speaker, which is equally the same with the county, with Kiambu County, 12 wards, 12 constituencies, 60 wards, and the budget is almost similar. Yet a county like Kakamega, they are receiving zero. That means probably in that county, they never broke the law. So I think we should take it as a case study, Mr. Speaker, to get to understand why. Mr. Speaker, as we pass this allocation, Mr. Speaker, we also need to request COB and the executive to be releasing this amount of monies in time. In the morning, Mr. Speaker, we were sitting at the Committee of Devolution of at the Senate, and we had members of the County Assembly and their Speaker, Mr. Speaker. And we were told the members of the County Assembly of Machakos and their staff have not been paid for the last 3 months, Mr. Speaker. And I believe it's not only Machakos County. Even some other counties are not receiving their money on time. So we should ask the executive, Mr. Speaker, to make sure they disburse these amounts on time so that they can give money where it's due, Mr. Speaker. And, Mr. Speaker, the reason why maybe probably the trust and confidence of this government might not be in tandem with what everyone is thinking, Mr. Speaker, is because counties do not have money, Mr. Speaker. Counties have not been, the monies have not been disbursed. Yet we see the government, through some programs that have not been budgeted for, in the name of Economic Forum, Mr. Speaker, going to every county, giving handouts to people, Mr. Speaker. Somebody might ask, why are these programs happening that are not budgeted for, they are not within any law, no motion was passed on it, yet the monies that the Senate has allocated and approved is not being disbursed to the counties, Mr. Speaker. I think this is an issue that we need to look into. And if we are to summon whoever, Mr. Speaker, is not disbursing these monies to the counties so that they can explain, it should not be, normal for the Senate just to pass this kind of laws, the allocations, the disbursement schedules, but then the executive is not doing its part. And we just keep quiet and we look at it that way, Mr. Speaker. So I urge the executive to make sure that they give the monies. And if, Mr. Speaker, they don't have money, then why is it that when they say they don't have money or they have not collected enough, why is it that the only counties are suffering? The office of the president has all this budget. The office of the deputy president has all the money, to an extent that we are now dishing it out to anyone who asks for it, Mr. Speaker. So I think, as I support this, this is an issue that we need to look into, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Senator Olekina Ledama. If Senator Olekina is not ready for a contribution, Senator Okongo Omogeni.
What are you saying?
Yes, seniority.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to also make my comments. Mr. Speaker, first I want to appreciate the good work being done by our Chair, Finance, Senator for Mandera, Ali Roba, and I wish to make a few comments, Mr. Speaker. First, for some of us who come from counties that were privileged to get the county aggregated industrial parks, we are happy that we are sending money to our counties that will jumpstart the construction of these county aggregated industrial parks. But, Mr. Speaker, this dream will never be realized unless we have fiscal responsibility from our counties. Because I've had the privilege of going around as a member of a committee, and you will find, Mr. Speaker, that there are counties that have made very good progress in construction of these industrial parks, while some are lagging behind. And, Mr. Speaker, there is no explanation other than attributing it to the effective management of our counties. Especially for my county, I'm happy to tell my people of Nyamira that we are now sending 52 million shillings to Nyamira. And I hope that the construction that is ongoing at Sironga will now pick up at a better pace than what we have seen before. Because we want these parks to be finalized and people start utilizing them so that we can see transformation. Otherwise, if we have them on paper, we are talking about county aggregated industrial parks, but we are seeing nothing, that adds no value to our people, Mr. Speaker. So I hope that our county make good use of the money that is being sent to our counties so that we can see progress, good progress, in the construction of these industrial parks. Curse be you If you are a governor who receives money that is meant to transform our lives, and you divert it to your pocket, and I'm asking also, Mr. Speaker, the watchdog bodies like ESCC and DCI to be on the watch out. Because, Mr. Speaker, what happens is the moment this money hits some of our counties, those who have a very good appetite for public money will start announcing that money has come and it gets diverted. Second, Mr. Speaker, on this idea of community health promoters, I fully associate myself with the sentiments that have been made by colleague senators who have spoken before me. Let us not dehumanize people who are trying to assist the sickly in our society. There are people who have told me, Mr. Speaker, that they have not been paid their paltry $2,500 for the last 6 months. I mean, how unfair can we be? As senators and other state officers, we receive our salaries timely, every month. If you are in arrears, it can't exceed five days, Senator Khalwale. But from my county of Kakamega, from my county of Nyamira, I don't know about Kakamega. You have community health promoters who wait for their arrears for 5-6 months. We are being very unfair. And I'm told this is happening in all counties, not just in Nyamira. This is something that we can never be proud of. And I'm hoping that we can find a solution, even if it's taking us to a classroom and we brainstorm and get a solution. We are not being fair to these Kenyans who have put their lives on the line to serve the sick, the needy in society. Their contribution does not deserve the mistreatment they are getting. They should be getting their stipend monthly. And you know, when we were passing this law, I remember last time we said, this idea of making people to be cashiers, we should even have them absorbed on contractual basis so that they can earn a salary every month. Otherwise, if you are not appreciating their service, why keep them? Because if you are appreciating the service you are getting from these community health promoters, Mr. Speaker, we should be paying them monthly. We know them, we live with them in our villages, where we come from our counties. We really need to do better. Doctors, Galwale, it's now becoming a ritual. Every day, people who are supposed to be in our health centers, in our hospitals, are outside here picketing. On a simple matter of just absolving them to be permanent and pensionable. And you look at the statistics, Mr. Speaker, we don't have enough professionals in that field. They are not there. Every day, I mean, for how long will this continue? And we are the people's representative. That's why they come here every day. Ask yourself, why have they not gone to the bus stop to picket there? They come picketing here because they know that the people's representative can find a solution. These guys are from our counties. We cannot allow this to happen, Mr. Speaker. There is a time in the last parliament we summoned, when we had a problem in the security sector, we summoned the DCI here, we summoned the IG, you remember? They all came here. We need to summon everybody in the health sector, Mr. Speaker, so that they tell us once and for all, what do they want us to do so that we get a solution for these doctors, nurses, and the likes. We can't continue this way, Mr. Speaker. We must get a solution. And Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, I want to emphasize on fiscal responsibility. You know, Majority Leader, even if we, every month or every year, we sit here and disburse money to counties, unless we deal with the issue of money that ends up in people's pockets, we will never transform the lives of the people we represent, Mr. Speaker. As long as we are converting counties to be employment bureaus, we'll never, Mr. Speaker, transform the lives of the people we represent, Mr. Speaker. My neighbor, I heard you welcoming students from Tengecha. You should have emphasized that Senator Omogeni went to one of the best schools in Kericho, Kabianga High School. You should have mentioned that to them. Yeah, that I went to one of the best schools in Kericho that used to compete with the alliances of this world. So I really want to support Mr. Speaker, and I hope that our county, our chief executive use of